Who said so?
There you go, Engin. Do you hear that, Bob?
Yeah, I heard him.
You know, mate.
I'm wondering if I can get one of them earpieces to put it in my ear.
That would be good. If you've got
let me grab one real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be better.
Now, you know the exciting stuff here all over the world, Engin.
Yeah.
Fans of arm wrestling are tuning in to see 3 old and relatively decrepit old men talk about the sport of arm wrestling. Now, in this collective, I'm going to be counting myself as the least decrepit of the 3 due to the fact that you're dying of COVID and Bob in the bottom corner there can't hear for shit.
It is because you have advantages. You are the host. Oh. That's why.
I'll take it, mate. I'll take it. But you don't lie to people, though. Before we got on here, you've been coughing like a mother fluffer. Big time. It's, and in only 5 weeks, you've got to pull John Brzenk.
Yeah, in 5 weeks, I will pull John Brzenk, and I have been in the home 3 weeks because of COVID. Just yesterday, I tested negative, 2 days ago, sorry. And it was like perfect preparation. It was already, I was like heavily underdog, and now just like, what to do? I will do my best, you know. I'm a warrior, you know, whatever, what, you know, I will just go. But I mean, it is not what I was dreaming. My shape was good. I went to Seychelles. I trained with Arif. Arif is 152 kilo super shape. Of course, he's stronger than me, but my shape wasn't bad. You know, my shape was very good, you know.
Do you think there's any chance you can get some back, though, before you go in, if everything's...
I mean, time will show. I don't even know where I am, you know. This Saturday, maybe after the event, I will pull with some people who are not exhausted, you know, and then at least I will have an idea. But the only thing is, I have this, after this Saturday, I will have 34 days. Last 10 days, I will rest 24 days. After this Saturday, when I do training, minimum 4 or 5 days, I will rest. So only 3 weeks or 20 days, I will train and go full John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not ideal, but you never know, because I'm coughing now. You got me going. You've given me the mic, nice. I was all right. Bob.
Right, I know. I think I'm worried about catching COVID right now.
Well, I've got it clearly. I've been on for 5 minutes. Bloody Engin's giving it like he's like a super carrier.
Exactly. You transmit it through the phone. It's incredible.
Fired it down the mic at me, and suddenly I've immediately contracted COVID. I mean,
I am like same as like Artem Morozov, you know. He already eliminated 2 of his opponents before pulling them. Marcio and Cody. Now he has 2 more, you know, to pull on this Saturday. So I can also pass COVID through internet, Zoom chatting, you know.
Yeah. Yes. We've got to try and not let any more of these matches get cancelled. COVID's crushed a few of them. We'll touch on that tonight. So I should probably introduce the show, guys. We've been on here 5 minutes talking.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Supernatural Strength channel and tonight's live.
The Fat Lad Neil pick up here with you in the mother fluffing house, and I'm joined by 2 very well-known faces and legendary artists. The coughing and slowly dying. The Enigma of Rage, Terzi from Turkey. Istanbul is the home of this man, former florist and lover of cats. And tonight, he will be on here to talk about a truly monumental card that he's got coming up in his home nation of Turkey. And we're going to get into the thick of it with the Enigma of Rage in just a minute. But before we do so, I want to introduce you to another very old and equally decrepit individual who hails from the United States of America. He's a very sexy man indeed, and his name is Bob Brown.
Hey, I'll take that sexy part. I like the sexy part. I get older, I get sexier. It's awesome.
That's how we roll, mate. Bit of course.
George Clooney, huh?
Yeah.
Also, even Sean Connery, you know, I thought that when I was watching Sean Connery in his young years, you know, I mean, of course, you know, as a male, I don't really care about it, but you know, I think that, you know, more he get like older, Sean Connery, he had better charisma, I think.
You were not caring about it, but you were thinking,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, you just look at, you know, I mean, you may have an opinion, you know.
Yeah, you know? Like if you're in prison with him, it's not a bad choice. That kind of look. See, Bobby, he's not worried about that.
No, I'm just right at this moment, though. I am glad that me and ENGIN are separated by an ocean, because if he's starting to think I look good, then, I don't know.
All right, mate. It's purely platonic. ENGIN, we're going down a rocky path here.
Yeah, let's just get off this path.
now that Bobby's got his earpiece in, can you hear us fine now, Bob?
Yes, now I hear perfect now. Yes.
I'm very disappointed in Bob that he didn't make it, to come with his close friends, Ron, John, and even till last moment, Cody. And I was expecting him to come, but
it's like a reunion of the old guard, isn't it? You've got some. It's not only East versus West; it's age versus youth in some respects here.
Right. Well, if you think about it, he's basically was having Team Utah come out and arm wrestle everybody out there. John, Cody, Todd. It's pretty much our weekly practice for several years.
Yeah, it was a Friday night drinking session at Cheetah's
Peak. It's exactly what it was. And I had wanted to come. I did want to come, and I'll be honest. When I flew down to Florida for the IFA Worlds, you had to wear a mask on the plane, and I'm very not happy about all this COVID stuff and having to wear these masks. And I just refused to get on another plane, especially for 9 or 10 hour trip, and wear a mask. I just refused to do it. So,
Bob, do you remember Haydar Gilgil that you had final in the 2019 Bob? Yeah, I mean, maybe if we continue, if this event covers itself, and maybe next East versus West, you and him maybe will do.
That'd be, I would consider it, because I'm really disappointed that I did not go to the World Championships that were in Turkey. I'm forgetting the name of the town they were in, but everyone told me how wonderful it was. Antalya. Everyone said it was beautiful. It was wonderful. It was just a great place. And I know anything like this event, anything ENGIN's involved in, I know the arm wrestlers are going to get treated first class, and it's going to be a really good event to be at. Yeah. So I do, absolutely. I would absolutely consider coming back and beating up on that old man again.
No.
Did I say that out loud?
You did.
I said that out loud. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And he's coughing.
Yeah. He's coughing.
Yeah. No, he's over it now.
He's
taking off the rust and he's getting ready for the GOAT match. That's before we start things off tonight, guys, a little bit of a somber note, but one that I feel is absolutely necessary, because extremely sad that today news has started to filter out of the passing of a truly exceptional member of the arm wrestling community. As unfortunately, we learned that Kenny Hughes was involved in a serious motorcycle accident that took his life. And
yes,
people, and I know everybody on this call, very familiar with Kenny. I wanted to just say a little bit and get you guys to say a little bit about Kenny Hughes, because he wasn't the sort of average run-of-the-mill athlete. This was a very special guy. I mean, ENGIN, you're one of the main focus, probably the main focus of the show tonight.
No. I mean, it's just like what you are saying is just very important. We need to talk about it. Like
you got a lot of experience with Kenny, didn't you? You pulled Kenny a number of times. You met Kenny a number of times. Just give us a bit of insight.
Kenny, when I pulled 1997 Petaluma, I competed 5 out of 10 classes and won all of them. And Kenny was at the, not the lowest class I competed.
Oh, we've lost your sound for some reason, ENGIN. I think you've gone on mute there.
I didn't quit, but I felt it, I felt it, the joint was not like normal, And then after that time, I think that if Kenny was someone who really took care of himself, he could have been, people remembers because of the 8% of the community are from the new guys, last 5 years or something, they know it. But if they knew the Kenny from the early 2000s, then they would understand, what he was, who he was. But I am sure Bob would know much better, because probably he has been in the same events with Kenny probably 10 times, 20 times more than I was. So Kenny was a cool guy. He was not, I don't know, he was just like a good guy, good guy with tons of, like big talent. And he was very strong guy, and he's just barely 40, 41, 42, I don't know. And he just died this early. I'm very sad. Yesterday, Herman Stevens told me on the live program, I was like, you joking? And it just happened,
It's extraordinarily sad. I mean, Kenny, like a lot of people who are extraordinarily talented, had his own demons that were with him for a lot of his life.
Right.
That took a toll physically and mentally, but a lot of the people, when they, as you say, saw Kenny later in his life, and I'm picking my words carefully because he was portrayed in a certain light on the Game of Arms show, and the issues that he'd had in life were documented on there, and it was shown in a certain way. But I don't know what you think, Bob, but from my experience personally with Kenny, he was, in his early years, at least in the sport, so the late 90s, early 2000s, he was a really fun-loving guy, and he was a lot deeper thinking than I think a lot of people probably give him credit for. When you actually sat and talked with the guy, he was a very straight, principled, deep-thinking lad, in my experience. I mean, how well did you know Kenny, Bob?
Well, I didn't really know him all that well. I have competed against him back in the early years, and I've watched his progression from young. And anytime you have an up and comer, back in the day, it was like always, he's the next John Brzenk, he's the next John Brzenk, and it was always whoever was the up and comer monster of that day. Well, there was a time when people really thought Kenny Hughes could be the next John Brzenk because he was so young when he really started to dethrone a ton of people. He was able to go inside, outside, shoulder roll. He could go anywhere on the table, which most arm wrestlers can't. And he was really that good. And, like you mentioned, he had his demons. And, I always wondered what would have Kenny been like? How good could Kenny have gotten if he never had his demons, And I think, well, one, he reached an incredibly high level of arm wrestling. And I think he could have gone even much, much higher. And, unfortunately, I know it was a motorcycle accident of some type. I don't know if it was on the road or on the dirt, because I know he did dirt biking with people. And so I don't know anything about his accident, but it's, it's a shame when anyone passes. But yeah, he was just a happy-go-lucky kid. When he was a kid, he was just a happy-go-lucky kid. And then he got older and some things got a hold of him.
Yeah, tremendous shame. Taken way before his time, Kenny. And it's funny, sometimes he was also that guy for me that I'll always remember Kenny from the 2000s, the early 2000s, late 90s, when you'd rock up at tournaments and Kenny would be there and he'd be cutting through people in there, particularly on the left arm, had a venomous left arm. His right was solid, but I always felt his left was far better. As you say, versatile, tremendous dragging hook, particularly again on that left arm.
Yeah.
In his latter years, showed a lot of propensity to top roll, and also he'd hit anything. He'd even go kings anywhere you wanted.
Go anywhere. Yeah. If you really look at the way Kenny pulls when he's in a losing position and lowers his body to crack back someone's wrist, I don't want to call it a king's move, because a king's move is when you reach the end of your arm, when your arm only goes so straight. His arm went completely straight, but he would lower his body and use that open top roll, I guess I'll call it. And he was deadly with that.
Yeah, he really was. And like you say, he almost slingshotted it. He did have some elastic.
Exactly.
In that movie. It was really, really solid. And I had a lot of good times, a lot of fun, shared a few drinks and a lot of laughs and chats with Kenny. One particular time that I remember with Kenny and Tom Nelson, who was his lifelong friend, at Crystal Lake Tahoe. I had a lot of fun with them there, just messing around on the practice table and chilling out, having a few beers after the show, pulled till we couldn't stand, one of those. It was really good stuff. And it's weird. It really hit me like a bomb when I found out, when I got the call on that one, because I don't know. Kenny was one of those guys who latterly he'd sort of shown signs of improvement, and he'd show up and you'd see him suddenly looking in much better physical condition, and he'd get back into the sport, and you thought, oh God, he's reinvented himself. He's managed to do some of these issues. And there was a couple of instances where that happened, and then he'd drop off the radar again, and you always wondered why. And then for this news to come out, it was just, really impactful. And I think it'll resonate, with a lot of people. I think it's really impactful throughout the community. We've lost too many good lads over the COVID period. Jim Bryan, Ali Akbar off du jour, Grenville Lloyd, and many more. And it's always a tremendous shame when it happens. Really is. So just wanted to mention Kenny. I felt really strongly about it. I think he was a very special talent, and he's gone way too soon. So on behalf of myself, the guys on the show, and everybody at Supernatural Strength and in the arm wrestling community, rest in peace, Kenny Hughes.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
On to the main topic of tonight, guys, I suppose. And I want to start with you, Engin. A lot of people look at this card as being one of the best, if not the strongest depth of card that we've seen in the sport. Give us a quick indication of when and how this came together, mate. When did you start putting this together, and when did you plan it out?
I don't know. I am just I think probably either getting too old or something. Just something comes to my mind, and then I just like, okay, let me do this one too. Let me do this one too. And then there are other guys that were helping me. After a point, they just stop. Not to stop helping me, but they just left me alone, because I was just like, they are like, Engin, maybe that's enough, because there will be problems to cover this event. I was like, okay, but this would be so good, okay, it's only like this much more, and this much more. Oh, how about this one? And how about this one? It came to this point. If finally they didn't stop me, there would be like probably 25 matches, but we stopped at 16,
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, Engin, and I've seen you operate like that for a number of years. You've always struck me as the type of guy that would go into IKEA to buy a dustbin and come out with a fitted kitchen. It's just how you roll.
Yeah.
And even up to like 5 minutes before the show goes down, you were already trying to fix up a match between Bob Brown.
Yeah.
Go. So only one more match, Engin. How bad can it be?
Yeah.
So you obviously have put together here what I would have to say is an incredible card for the purist arm wrestler. And I wanted to sort of just dig into how much thought do you put into sort of the match, and how much do you put into the name? How long did it take for you to pull together the matches and the specific guys that you wanted in there? Was it about the point that you're trying to prove to show the level? Or are these guys that are favorites?
Do you know what it was? What it was that arm wrestling world at some level is so much divided.
Yeah.
We see athletes there in their own playland, and some there, and some there. And I was also trying to satisfy my curiosity, what would happen if they would pull. Like many of the matches, I think honestly, when I'm alone, I'm just thinking, oh, maybe John would win. But Zolevsen is so dominant, and Tatachins would win, but Sonev look against Bogoslov. So what if he's the one, finally will stop this, like nobody can beat Hutchings in a slow hook pull. And then I go to other match, and then Tobias Sporong, he gave some trouble to Alex Kurdesha, at least as much as trouble that, Hermes gave to Kurdesha. And then when I talk with his trainer, he says his left is 30% stronger. And then I'm like, okay, no need to be 30%, even if it's 15% stronger. I mean, I'm talking about his left and his right. And then what will happen with the Morozov? You understand?
Yes.
And then, yeah. Like, there are matches. I said it, but I am not sure who's going to win.
Oh, I mean, when you look at this card top to tip, it really is stacked to the gunnels. I mean, I sent over the list to yourself, Bob.
Yeah, I have it.
I mean, what about that?
Yeah, no. Well, and that's the thing. So in today's world of arm wrestling, and I'll say in today's world of the internet and arm wrestling, you've got a lot of people out there, 98, like Ingrid said, 98% of the people that follow arm wrestling today really don't know anything about arm wrestling. They're not, all they know is what they see on video. They know Michael Todd, they know Devon Larratt, they know Ryan Bowen. And are these guys, yep. And, but that doesn't, just because you see people on the internet doesn't necessarily mean they're the greatest arm wrestler in the world. Now in some cases it does. I mean, we're seeing Michael Todd and Devon Larratt, and I will arguably say they are two of the greatest two top arm wrestlers on the planet. Mm-hmm. But then this card, you said it's like for the purest sport, for the purest arm wrestler, because arm wrestlers are going to know all these names, especially if you're from Europe. I mean, I'll admit I haven't followed European arm wrestling in some time, and I still know most of the names on here. Yeah. Some of them I don't know because I haven't followed it as much. But these are brilliant matches. I'm with Engin. John and Zoloff, I really don't know. I think I know who's going to win that. I really don't know. Hutchins and Jordan, I have no idea. I'm very interested in Oleg Zoc coming back.
And Bet Killy being as big as we are seeing him here. Bet Killy, when he was in the 75 kilo class,
now
venom. You look at Reg back in the day, grueling battles.
And
Neil coming in at 90. What the hell is that man capable of at that one?
Neil, Reg is probably 5'8" height.
Yes, he's small.
While we're talking about 6'3", Betkili. So when you make Reg 90 kilo from 70, still it makes so much difference. But when we are talking about a tall guy pulling 165, and then when he is 200 pounds, then it is making even more difference.
Big difference.
One of the reasons that I wanted to do this, because sorry if it offends anyone, but there are a lot of guys in this sport. It's right there, but are not known, and it's not fair.
Right. Bet you're after all.
It is not fair.
And a lot being the understatement.
These people needs to be brought to do highlights, and then let people know that just because they are not entertainer on the YouTube.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean that they are, less of arm wrestling. I go to some Facebook groups. I just look at, one day to find something really like good about arm wrestling. And then all I see, like there, if you look at that page, you see there are only 5 arm wrestlers in the world. There's no one else. World. And no one else exists. And then it's all about that. And it's all about trolling. It's all about disrespecting, all about this. Listen, guys, these guys, I understand maybe this is the part, but all these guys deserve respect. Even the arm masters that, are the, like, if you are a fan of this arm master, and there is another arm master is beating that guy, and you dislike that guy, but it's still, that guy deserves respect. You don't have to be his fan. These are, these are heroes. Are heroes. I think that we should honor. Whenever I see them, like not many people that I invited here have better career than I have. There are some, yes, but whenever I look at them, I'm like, oh, look at Morozov. Wow, look at this guy, how he's built. Oh, look at, because I am more of arm wrestling fan than whatever you recognize me as an athlete or whatever. I love arm wrestling.
Mate, let me just stop there, right? I've met arm wrestlers all over the world, for 30, coming close to 40 years. You are, without question, in my mind, the most obsessed mother fluffer that I have ever met. When it comes to arm wrestling, you are ridiculous level of obsessed.
And that obsession is all things arm wrestling, not just the act of arm wrestling. ENGIN is obsessed with, look at the cards he's putting on, just the fan of the sport. I mean, a lot of the people out there, they're not a fan of arm wrestling. They're a fan of the characters that they see on television. And unfortunately, in today's world, with all this social media, it's easy to portray people in a highlight. So do you guys remember I know you will, Neil, in the UFC, right? So you had this YouTube internet sensation fighter, Kimbo Slice. Mm-hmm. Everyone thought he was the baddest fighter in the world. And then they finally put him in the real sport. And he got the crap beat out of him, right? And so now the world sees this YouTube wonder isn't really that good, you know? And that's what's happened. You have people watching our sport, and unfortunately, where the true best are, you know, at the WAF World Championships, people don't know these guys. No one even knows the names of the people who got first, second, third, fourth. And it's not fair. They definitely deserve their recognition. The problem is you need someone to then either they got to highlight themselves, or you need someone to highlight them. You know, a perfect example. And again, you know, I apologize because I'm a guy into the sport, and even I didn't know. Like, I had Dallas Langston texted me, and he's like, "Hey Bob, what was it? Chant Shaw against Sandris Sedis," and I said he wanted to bet me, and I said, honestly, I don't know who Sandris is, and I'm a guy in the sport.
He's a chef from Latvia.
And apparently he either just won the WAF Worlds or got second at WAF Worlds. He's got first or second, England saying, and the EAF.
He won Zloty.
He won Zloty. I mean, so this guy is a monster arm wrestler. And chef, apparently. Mm-hmm. So, and I didn't even know him, right? And I follow the sport probably more than most, but the average guy is following YouTube videos. Like, yeah, I watched the WAF World Championships. I just can't remember everybody's name. Where you've got all these.
Bob, I want to say something, sorry, but when I say that those guys, like 98% of the community don't know these guys, I'm not blaming that the 98% or 97%.
No,
I'm just because they don't know it. But that is why I'm just saying that I bring these guys and bring to the highlights, so these guys will be known as well, you know. But this is their opportunity. I told to today. I told to Artem. I said, Artem, I mean, this is your opportunity. You're gonna show this, and then listen. If you ask me, I organize many events international. If you ask me, Neil is an organizer in arm wrestling. I'm not an organizer. I don't know what I am. Just say I'm an idealist man. But whenever I said this, like for example, they are doing something great in Dubai, right? So I talked with the guys from Dubai too. I said, listen, here is your base. There are many matches here. And then instead of guessing who is where while they are training, you will have some serious base, you know, to organize your next events. Then you will be guys, you will be seeing the guys. And this is the opportunity for these guys who are coming here to show themselves, not only with their arm wrestling abilities, but with their everything, spirit, their character, as you are saying. Yes. And then it's okay. Here is your opportunity. Show yourself and go to the even higher stages, you know.
And I'll tell you what I really one of the core things I love of this event. You know, you named the East versus West, and you know, basically that's North America versus Europe. You know, I mean,
it's like more like USA versus some countries, 6 countries.
Right. Yes. You know, and you know, over the years, people, you know, like at the WAF World Championships, because of mostly financial reasons, the best guys in the US don't ever go over to Europe. And we really don't know how would the best against the US do against these guys that are getting first, second, and third place in the World Championships. And that's what is really super exciting to me about these matchups, because you have pulled over arguably the best that the US has to offer in some of these weight divisions. And I'm super excited, like the Chance Shaw match, for example.
Yeah.
How is Chance? We really don't know how good Chance Shaw is. We really don't, you know? But now he's going to go against the guy who just finished second in the World Championship.
I mean, just to correct, second was with left, third was with right arm.
Okay, so still third in the World Championships.
Yes.
We all know as we know as true arm wrestling fans, you get top 3 at the WAF World Championships. You are a bad mother fluffer, to steal your words. I mean, you are incredible. So to me, even if Chance Shaw gives a really good fight to the guy who got third in the world, well, then that tells me how good Chance Shaw is.
Yeah.
Even if Chance doesn't win, if he just gives a really good fight to this guy, and if Chance Shaw can beat him, well, then that's awesome. Now, Engin, please tell me. So this guy, what weight class did he get third in right-handed?
242.
242. Okay, so he's not the heavyweight guy, but it still gives you a very good gauge.
Yeah,
you know,
but
because
listen, this gives gauge over 90 kilo, 100, 110, and the 100 plus 110 of WAF are not the only best athletes in the world. If you talk about 90 kilo and below, I would bet my everything that the best are there.
They're the best.
When you go
I actually think the separation's bigger, Engin, in the lower weight classes. I think, do you hear me out on this? But I actually think in the anywhere from the 70 kilo to the 90 kilo, particularly at the WAF, is venom. You could go 65 to 100, but 70 to 90 is immoral level. Purely and simply because so many men are 70 to 90 kilo, and the level is so.
Not only because of that, not only because of that, but when you go into heavier classes, there are somehow more opportunities in a professional events. So they are divided. They are divided. So less opportunity in a pro level under 90 kilo. That is why they just stay there. But when you look at the super heavyweights, just imagine a world championships. I mentioned this before. Imagine a world championships. Travis is there, best of Travis. Dave is there. Michael is there. Jerry Cadoro is there. Devon is there. Say Tim Brzenk is there. Say Artem Morozov is there. Levan is there. Gennady is there. Laletin is there. Kurdesha is there. Turubin is there. Just imagine 16 guys like this competing in one event. So that is how it is when you are looking 90 kilo and under at the WAF.
Exactly.
It really is. Now hold that thought, guys. Just before they run away from us, going to knock over a couple of the super chats. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Those of you who have chatted, we got Goodman, great dude. And he just put, Mr. Engin, please say you're going to sign the t-shirts too from the GoFundMe.
Yeah,
can't wait for Saturday.
I will.
And thank you for arranging from Goodman that one.
I'm just going to talk with the athletes. I talk with them. They say after the event, because it's about like 150, 160 t-shirt. I will talk with them at the dinner. I will just say that you won't get paid, unless you sign the shirts, because I promised the whole world. I mean, I can't tell them the athletes didn't sign it, I can sign for them. If I had a chance to do somehow, I would do it, but they are the only ones who can sign. And so there will be some kind of
the signature is going to be appalling because they'll all have wanker's hand.
Yeah.
After pulling for hours and hours and getting destroyed. Yeah. But other than that, it'll be a signature made by the person that goes by that name. So our second super chat is from NWUK1, mate. Thank you very much for your super chat. He's put, there's no rush to read this out while you talk about Kenny Hughes, RIP. I can't keep watching the live, and I'll catch up later. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Engin for this upcoming card. It looks amazing.
I thank every of them that are supporting the event. You understand? It is, I do this seriously. I do this for the community. I am okay, even if I lose not huge money, but little money, I am okay. Even I am okay, because I would just consider I did something for myself as a sponsored event. You understand? But this is seriously, I am doing it for them to watch and enjoy.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
you've already pulled that one off, mate. My God, but I think anybody who's into arm wrestling is going to enjoy this very, very much. It's time to get the popcorn and the beers in, guys. It's about to go down big time. So let's knock over the rest of these super chats that we've got here. And the next one we have is from Gunter saying, Swedish based, I believe. Gunter, thanks for your super chat, mate. Really appreciate it. He's put, Neil, make a join possible in your channel and also in the Arm Wars channel. I want to contribute to your monthly. You deserve it. Thank you very much, mate. And we are working on that right now. We're trying to direct as much as we can to the Arm Wars channel, because that's the, in my opinion, from our perspective, that's the future of what we're looking to do. So we will definitely be doing that. And thank you again for your super chat. We got a super chat from Black Paw. Thank you very much, mate. He's put, Engin, please write me on Facebook. I want to come to Istanbul. Do you know Black Paw? Okay, yeah, he's just put Black Paw is his moniker on there, and he's just put, Engin, write me on Facebook because I want to come to.
It is Green Park Hotel, Pendik, Istanbul. Green Park Hotel, Pendik. In Istanbul, there are more than one Green Park, so it needs to be Pendik, Istanbul. And then Saturday, 19 p.m. with the local time here, and the entry is $25 to the venue.
There we go, guys. There's the details. Obviously, the link will be in the description also for the pay-per-view buy. SG Records with a super chat. Thank you very much, brother. He's put, for the legend Engin, but I don't know why you blocked me though.
You know, sometimes it comes to me. I just do that. I don't even know how to unblock.
No, I don't. I can't knock yet. I have no idea.
You're talking about YouTube or talking
yeah,
about
Facebook?
I know how to unblock Facebook. YouTube, I don't know.
No, I got asked the other day why I blocked somebody. I've never blocked anybody in my life. I would like to know how you block someone. There are people I block if I knew how to block them.
I don't know. I blocked a lot. When Devon sent me all those guys and they start disrespecting, I think I blocked a few thousand of them.
Not overcooking it then, just a couple of thousand.
Yeah.
Nice work, so. And then last but not least, Nico IME, thanks for your super chat. No comment on there, just the super chat. So Nico IME, thank you very much again for your support of the channel, mate. Really appreciate it. And we're going to get back into the show now. We've obviously not got time to discuss every match on here, but we're going to have a go at a few of them. Now, Engin, you have done a crazy amount of shows over this last few weeks, and you have had everyone. So many people have come on in the pairs that they're going to arm wrestle. In the two, you've had them on. You've asked them their opinions. You've talked about that. You've got their opinions. You've got their own stance on the match, their own perspective on the match. But nobody's really asked you your perspective on the match and tried to put you on the spot a little bit with that. And that's what I want to do. And I want to do the same with Bob as well. So I'm going to pick a few of these.
I did all those interviews till 11th of January. And then on 12th, I went to 12th or 13th. I went to Seychelles for 5 days. There was no good internet, so I couldn't do any show. And as soon as I came, I got COVID. And then beginning of September, what I'm talking about, February, I was terrible, you know, like still was in very bad condition. I really heavily experienced COVID. And last a few days, maybe a week or something, I think I'm doing it a few more shows. So about 20 days or 3 weeks or something, I couldn't do it. So if I come to your question, I try to stay away from that because I'm organizing the event. In the event that I'm organizing, for me to openly say my own prediction would not look good. That's what I thought, you know, to say that, you know, I can talk about the possibilities. And I did, but I wouldn't say this guy is gonna beat this guy, that guy is gonna beat that guy. But I meant like John versus Zolev, I mean, there is a picture on my mind right now. I can tell.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the picture in your mind, mate. Because there are certain matches on here. As I say, we talked about, I think, one of the most exciting matches a moment ago for people that do know, the new fans that know on social media, they've been following the sport, they'll be well aware of Chance.
Right.
The purists will be much more aware of the abilities and capabilities of Sandris Seris, or Sheris, as it should be. Chef Sheris in the Mother Fluffing House. Not only does he do Michelin star level souffle, he also arm wrestles, and he's good on both hands. Now, that's an interesting match because of the frame and levers that Sheris possesses. And Chance is a very powerfully built guy, but he's not the biggest man in the world. He's not a giant.
He's short.
Yeah, he's not a giant.
Right.
Now,
Yeah. So
Sheris is a big man. Big man. 6'4", 6'5", big dude.
Yeah, when Dallas Langston wanted to, wager on that one, I did a little homework. I did some real homework, and I saw him, and I'm like, all right, this guy's really tall, and he top rolls, which means both of these guys are going to top roll.
He'll do anything.
Sandris can go into
anywhere.
the inside like a lightning speed.
Yeah, anywhere you want. Basically, Sheris is extremely versatile. He's very Latvian.
Right. So when he tries to put that hook in against Chance Shaw, if he can sink the hook against Chance, because in my opinion, we all know what Chance is going to do. He's got a shorter arm. He's a super hard back pressure guy. His knuckles are going to drop a little bit, but since he's going against the taller arm, his knuckles will be up more. He's going to fire back as hard as he can. And if he can still sink a hook against that, then this match is over. Chance is just going to get dusted. The hope for Chance is that when this guy tries to sink a hook, he can't, which is now going to force him to top roll. But when he gets forced to top roll, now he's got the longer lever. And then this match comes down to hand-wrist endurance. Because when two top rollers go against each other, if they're close, whoever's hand gets tired first is generally going to be the winner. And it's usually the guy with the shorter arm and the smaller hand who gets tired first. So
the strength is also important, Bob. You don't need to get, if your hand and wrist is more solid and you dominate,
then
it doesn't have to go to endurance, It's what rules, 30 seconds, you don't hold, referee's grip, start. I don't think that there will be a lot of endurance will play a role if the strength is very...
It's close, right? And that's what I said. Only if it's close. I mean, and that's why this is an exciting match for me. For all we know, Sandris is just going to grip a hold of him, bam, 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 and okay, now we know where, Chance and the rest of the Americans stand against the WAF. But if he can make that a good match or even win, then that's super exciting. If I had to pick one, I'm going to pick, it's Sandris. Am I saying that right? Sandris? Yeah. I'm going to pick Sandris to win that. I think his hand and wrist are just going to be that much more stronger. If Sandra, and I'm going to guess, I don't know, that Sandra is probably going to top roll him first. Would you say his primary move is top roll or hook?
I think for me, Sandris is very intelligent. He's an extremely intelligent arm wrestler. As I say, he's very Latvian. So this is a cerebral approach. Everything that the guy does, it's not going to be sort of hit and hope. He'll have come in with a game plan. And I would expect that Sandris will go. If I was going to pull Chance Shaw, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be going knuckles to the ceiling because he's the drop wrist. He drop wrists and he wants you to hang on to him.
Right.
I don't believe Sandris will hang on to him one bit. I think he'll post like hell, knuckles to the ceiling, and look to apply more side pressure in his top. And I believe that Sandris starts for me as a favorite because of that.
Yeah, and he starts.
Bob, to inform you about the way that Sandris hooks, he is not like going like this, but he is more like going like
almost like a press.
I mean, he hits your pronator a little bit sideways. I mean, he has tall forearm that his reach is good. we will see. You know, we will see.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's the opportunities there for him to bone line chance.
Yeah.
So literally just drive through the bone line, just bam, straight through, and put Chance into a very, very B-side position.
Right.
And it's how connected he can be shoulder to wrist, because that's big for Chance. He needs to have that pronator, and he needs to be shoulder to wrist somewhat connected.
Right.
But I honestly don't think Sanders will do that. I think he'll fight fire with fire at the top. At least
and I agree.
My opinion is that we know Sanders, and I don't think from last WAF to today there is any huge change with Sanders. I don't think at all. I think Sanders will be as good as he was at WAF.
Right.
The question is, we don't know where Chance is, because we didn't see Chance lately, and Chance is a type of guy that is still improving.
Oh my
all
God.
the time.
When Sanders is somewhere in Latvia together with Raimons and Yanis, so he is coached by people who knows arm wrestling, and so this, like, he already got everything. You understand what I'm saying? But Sanders is Chance is still looking for information to improve himself. So I don't think that he is anywhere near to his capacity. Yeah. So
I agree.
From the John Brzenk match to today, I don't know where he is. If you ask me, if he is 5% better than John Brzenk match with the same style and everything, he will lose that match. 10%, 15%, then things may change. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. And I agree. And again, that's why I love this match so much. It's going to answer a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And the answer may be European arm wrestlers are just crushing American arm wrestlers. You know, this guy against our Chance Shaw, because I think arguably we would say that above 240 pounds, Chance Shaw is a top 10 arm wrestler in the US. So can a top 10 arm wrestler in the US hang with a top 3 arm wrestler in the world?
You know what?
No.
Just before we forget it, right? I'd like personally to go out and say, I think the title of the event, I hope this is the last one that's called that. Just because I don't think that it's healthy to even get into the sort of East versus West debate too much. East versus West debate we've had, everybody knows it. Everybody knows where it's going. For me, this isn't about that. I'd call this is by the Enigma of Rage, right? It's for purists. I'd just call this pure rage arm wrestling. And that would be your promotion going forward, mate. Pure rage arm wrestling.
Pure rage arm wrestling. So it PRA.
Yeah. Pure rage arm wrestling.
You know, I don't know why. About this kind of things, you know, nobody can compete with you. If I continue this, and if I continue this as an organizer, I told you that I don't consider myself as an organizer. If I continue this as a professional organizer, probably that will be the name. Because about the nicknames, I mean, you are here, rest of the world is here. You know?
Yeah.
But the only thing is that you said top 10 in North America versus top 3 in the world. You're talking about top 3 in the, not the world.
No, not the world. In the WAF.
Yeah. And then you're talking about top 3 in the WAF under 242, not unlimited class. But the wild chance is what is 140 kilo? Under 300 pounds?
Is he 140 kilos now, Chance? Jesus.
I think he's like 300 pounds. Yeah, I really don't know. You know.
Yeah, there is, I think, probably near 60 pounds the difference. Yeah. Whatever. So if we continue with the what do you think? You who said that this was the most interesting? Yeah, Neil, you said, or Bob said this?
I think this is a very interesting match for the non-purists, for the people that are maybe new to the sport, who we also need to cater to a great deal. For me, and I wanted to go around and ask you, we'll just knock over a couple of super chats real quick, and then I want to come back on that point. So, Handball plays games with a super chat. Thanks, mate. He's just put, what sport template should arm wrestling take to go big time? I don't know what you think, guys. I actually think both super match and main draw is essential.
It has.
It has to. There is not enough room for everyone for super match. There needs to be tournaments, and then out of the tournaments, we need to pick the guys for the super matches.
Correct.
Right.
I agree 110%.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely right. Yeah,
And then,
you have to do it that way.
Gunther Sen of Sweden, thank you very much again, mate, for your super chat. He's put, Engin, how many desperation moves will we see on Saturday, do you expect?
We will not see any.
Because they'll be fouled.
We can see for like 1 second. I will tell the athletes because it's rough rules. 1 second warning, the same second needs to go up, same second. A little bit weighted, directly foul. I will tell this to the athletes. And then next year, probably this rule will change this year in the WAF, and then it will be the direct foul, you know. The only reason that in this tournament, I do it because we said it's WAF rules, you know. Right now, I can't change this because there are some people that are maybe depending on this.
To a degree, yeah. Okay, possibly so, and we'll come to that. So that was, I think we've covered that point off in terms of as succinctly as we can. Maybe not going into detail on it because it'll detract from where we really want to be. Dave B with a super chat. Thank you very much, mate. He's put, growing arm wrestling is the most important thing. Agreed. Finance and exposure, social media, currently the best way. Those not on social media will be known once arm wrestling mainstream. Good job, guys. Thanks very much, mate. Thank you for your super chat. Really appreciated. And I agree with everything he's just said there. We got Nikolai Gilkaros, a super chat from Norway, and he's put all stakes are on Sandris. Yeah, Sandris is a heavy favourite coming into that, but you never know. You will see.
Yeah. I never buy that thing. I never buy that thing that like somebody is unbeatable or something. There is a chance for chance.
For sure. Yep. No doubt about it. So Troy Tula with a super chat. Thanks, mate, for that. He's put, I like the idea of pure rage arm wrestling. More entertaining title for sure. Thanks, Engin, for putting this together. You all have a good day.
You are welcome, and I thank you for supporting. Anything, anyone that who appreciates and then sports, you know, I am happy. Some guy says that, hey, Engin, not that I don't want, but I can't buy the pay-per-view. I mean, that guy, I mean, what can you say? It's normal. He can't, if he can't buy, he can't buy, you know, it's normal. I just ask for people that, you know, that to buy in this pay-per-view will not really affect their economical, you know, situation, you know, then I would ask them to support. But for people who can't buy, you know, what can you say, you know, the guy even to, you know, I mean, to think that it's a good thing for arm wrestling and be happy is enough for me, you know.
Without doubt, mate.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a millionaire, I would make this for free.
Yeah, I'm hoping you have a lottery win.
Yeah.
Good right there, I'll tell you. So Patrick with a super chat, he's put, I'm new to arm wrestling and love it, but my problem is finding out info. Is there a website that shows info on past and future events and athletes? Most are hard to navigate. I get all my news from YouTube, guys. Well, funnily enough, one of the associations we have within our channel, mate, is via armwrestlingforums.com. Now, if you go on to Arm Wrestling Forums, it's a chat room. A lot of people on there from all levels of arm wrestling, from the top professionals down to the newcomers like yourself. And that is a fantastic place for you to find out information generally on the sport of arm wrestling, question people, get into depths, and just network, make some contacts on there. Really, really good way of doing it. Get over to armwrestlingforums.com. Fabulous way of finding out that kind of thing, Patrick, and wish you all the best with that, mate. So we also got Travis S with a super chat. He's put, thanks for the content, Mother Fluffers, social media and pay-per-view on point. Thank you, mate. Thank you for your support. Really, really appreciate it. And with that, we're going to jump back into some of these matches. And I'm going to be a bit biased here and go for the match that is personally my favourite on the card. And that is Artem Morozov against Yevgeny Prudnik. Because
holy,
what a match. I mean, that is great. I cannot wait.
So,
just while Bob is talking, can you give me 30 seconds or 1 minute?
No problem. You get out there, then gravel it back up and get your ass back in that seat.
So here's the thing about Prudnik for me, because I am 100% on board with you. As people who know me, my favorite all-time arm wrestler is Giannis Omlins. My second favorite all-time arm wrestler is Prudnik. And the reason I like these guys so much is because they can hook, they can top roll, they can transition right in the middle of the match. They are very well versatile arm wrestlers. They can do it all. And then on top of it, they're crazy strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, all his fans are gonna hate me, but Devon Larratt, super versatile, not so crazy strong. He is super strong, but when you compare raw horsepower to others, he's not there. But Prudnik and Giannis, favorite guys. So I gotta go with Prudnik on this match, just because I think the match is gonna stop and Prudnik's gonna out arm wrestle him. He's just going to out arm wrestle him.
Oh, you big, filthy, beautiful bastard. Welcome to the show, Mr. Morozov.
Yeah.
He's ugly strong. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. If
Oh,
only
Lord.
you
Okay.
better English, Autumn.
So
He's a huge guy. Yeah.
This is who I just said was going to lose to Prudnik, right?
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, then don't.
He's about like 6'5" and
A big man, yeah.
280 pounds. Yeah.
Artem, how was your form,
280?
Artem?
What's that?
How was your form, Artem? Are you in perfect shape?
In good shape. You're trained good. Yeah. He doesn't speak English, so anyways.
No.
But he said he's good. Yeah. He's in good shape. Yeah.
He looks like he's been carved out of Zeus's tooth.
Yeah. He's huge. Yeah, I try to not to have a picture with him. I will have a picture with him while we both are sitting, not standing. You know,
No.
I look too small by him. Yeah.
Yes.
Just tell him.
Wow.
Best match on the
Thank you.
card.
Thank
That
you.
match.
Yeah, I just hold his hand. His hand feels like a rock.
Hey, why I love that match so much is because, you know, it's funny, we were talking about Kenny Hughes earlier.
Yeah.
And there's an excitement that comes around. Like when Mike Tyson was tearing through the sport of boxing back in the day, and you get a guy who's just ripping people apart and creating an extra degree of excitement everywhere they go. And there's something visceral about that. There's something great about that, and it switches people on. And when, for a long time, it's like Zeranov back in the day. I wanted to see Zeranov pull so many guys because I wasn't sure how strong Zeranov is. And for me, the very essence of the card you've put together here, Engin, is a lot of that. It's a lot of how strong is this guy if I put him against this guy.
You know what, Neil?
And that match is fucking iron.
Neil. I was almost putting Dzarno with touchings, but I thought that Dzarno would top roll him, beat him. Have you seen Dzarno with Zolev in the Lotoshino? The one match, he beat Zolev like this.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yes.
Second match, he went inside with Zolev. Zolev gave everything. Dzarno just hold. And then Zolev was like, go, you know, because he didn't want him to hold anymore. He just did like this.
Mate, Zeranov is one of the more, in my opinion, one of the most underrated arm wrestlers of all time. He is iron.
Yeah,
iron.
This guy beat him, you know, right?
Yeah, in the bloody in Turkey, wasn't it?
No. Wow.
Where were you? In the trying to remember, Nomad.
Yeah, in the Nomad event. Yeah. There was a Nomad event in Istanbul, but the event that he beat Dzarno was in probably Kazakhstan.
It was in Kazakhstan, was it? Okay.
Yeah, and Dzarno has wins, I think, versus Matushenko and Alexander Getalo, and also I think he has a win against Larratt as well.
Yes. When Morozov went on, I knew of Morozov from just what I'd seen of him at major internationals, but when he really went on my radar as holy shit, who is that guy, was that match on Nomad. The guys from Nomad were messaging me, sending stuff over. They sent that clip, and it was like, oh my god, Zeranov and Morozov. And I watched that match. They pulled both arms, and the right arm was a better match. But that's when Artem went on my radar as being really serious. And since then, I've had a bit of a fascination with finding out how good he is. And this match, if Yevgeny Prudnik shows up as we know he can, my God, it's a stern test. It's a real, absolute coming out moment for Morozov. If he beats Prudnik, everybody's going to be like, wow.
Evgeny, 112 kilo, Evgeny. He's about 246.
I can't wait for that match. That's my favorite match on the card.
So Evgeny is right now is 22 kilo heavier than his last WAF shape.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's ripped.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the versatility in there from Prudnik means that match, the test for Artem is going to be so much more severe. Obviously, Artem's the bigger dude frame, but so versatile. Yevgeny, so experienced. So Prudnik and Artem for me is just a stupid match. I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
it's a stupid match amongst a card full of stupid matches.
I see Prudnik's only chance going inside and beating him, but I don't know even if inside it will be easy or not. I don't know. I kind of in a fresh match I'm talking about. I mean, I can't see Prudnik top rolling him, but we will see.
No, I would imagine Prudnik will look for the hook because Artem's got such a severe top roll.
Right. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Amazing.
That's incredible.
Amazing match. So
that's incredible.
We better get it. We've been on here for like over an hour. We better get into some of the sort of sunshine matches and the matches that people are really going to want that opinion on. And I am trying to close Engin down, guys, and get him to put some comment in here on who he thinks. One other. Can we just talk about Youssef and Cherkasov? Because
war. You will see. You will see. People, people tells me, like many people, why did you set that match? You know, Youssef is not even in the level of Cherkasov. Why you set that match?
Make matches.
Wars.
No, they don't know what they are talking about. That match, I don't know who's gonna win. And if Cherkasov dominates Youssef, I will be very, very surprised. Very, very surprised. I am expecting no matter who wins, there will be a war in that match.
I agree entirely. And that's another supremely exciting matches. I wanted to give that a mention because of the fact that I think a lot of people will overlook it. And I think it deserves not to be overlooked. The next match I want to touch on is the phenomenally talented Yoran Sonev and Todd Hutchins. And why is because I think everybody sees that as one-way traffic for Todd. And I wanted to sort of just get you to explain to people the type of athlete that Yoran Sonev is. We've obviously just seen him with Bogoslav in an impressive performance, not least because there was a
how tall is Yoran? How tall is Yoran? How tall is
6'3"?
6'3". Okay, wow.
And you know the funny thing about that, I was going to set Dizarano for Hutchins, and before that, no, I asked to Hutchins. There is Ivan Matushenko and Dizarano. Who do you want to pull? And he said, which one is stronger? I said, Dizarano beat Matushenko last time they meet at WAF, but now Dizarano is even 10 kilo heavier, probably 15 kilo heavier than Matushenko, so Dizarano probably stronger. He said, okay, give me that one. You know, Hutchins said, that, give me the stronger one. And then I just sat and thought, you know, just like this guy. I mean, if Zolev top rolled Hutchins, and this guy doesn't even feel Zolev, I mean, he's gonna beat him, and it will be a mismatch. And then people again, like Travis, will start. Oh, you said a match that East will win against the Americans. This is just like nonsense things. So I asked Matushenko, and Matushenko said that his elbow doesn't feel good, and he can't be ready. And then he said, how about Bogoslav? I said, Bogoslav, what Bogoslav? Bogoslav is 85, 90 kilo guy. And he said, no. Bogoslav is now 110 kilo, 242. And then I knew that he was going to pull Sonev. And then I said, okay, you asked Bogoslav if he would pull Hutchins, because I and Matushenko, we both were sure that he was going to beat Sonev, 110 kilo. This guy was 85 kilo, he was already incredible. So now he's 25 kilo heavier. And then we were thinking that he's going to beat Sonev. And he said, okay, should I ask him, like tomorrow? I said, just wait, after he wins the match, I said, because we don't want to distract, we just don't want to take this concentration, And then what happened? Sonev just beat him. And then I was like, okay, if Sonev beats him, Sonev is the guy to deserve this. And then I wrote to Sonev, he said, Engin, if you didn't write me, in some minutes I was going to write you, like set me with Hutchings, And then, so that match happened now.
And the Boguslav match, if you've not seen that match, Sonev and Boguslav, what a match. That's an amazing match. And it tells you everything you need to know about Yoran Sonev. The guy will go all day. He is an absolute grinder when he gets into a deep hook. Really tucks in, supinates so hard. He controls the match very well, even on the defensive. Like the Bulgarian, a lot of the Bulgarians do this. You see it from Simeonov also. When you speak to people, like I remember a conversation with Krasi, and I was talking about, are you still training a lot with Jordan and so on? And he said, well, Jordan's so aggressive in training, in positionally aggressive, that it's difficult to do that on a regular basis because it just hammers your joint. He said, and after you can feel all your joints just shot to shit. So he doesn't want to train with him too much. That's the kind of person that Yoran Sonev is. And I cannot wait for that match. I think it's going to be another belter. I do see John as a favorite, but
the only difference is that Bogoslav was putting tons of like tricep and shoulder pressure to the forward, just on bicep on Sonev, while Hutchings will go side and dragging, so he will be applying the pressure different. I don't see neither of them dominating each other. So the match will stop somewhere, and then we will see who is endurance is better.
I'm interested to see if Sonev looks for the top role at any point as well.
No.
I'm interested to see if he would.
No. I never seen him that, and there was a subject. Hutchings and Sonev were my guests, and then I asked him. He said in his entire life he only tried one time top row. It was against Zolev, and Zolev beat him so terribly that he never tried again, except sometimes trying to slip his hand for the strap. So neither of them will do anything about the top roll. Only maybe Hutchings, if he gets so dominant in endurance, not the strength, and then later rounds he may try to do weird things. But in a fresh match, if he tries to top roll, and then if he is stubborn enough to continue with the top roll, he may lose a round just because of that mistake. And so we will see. I think that Sonev made a good decision. He told me that, Engin, I train for my endurance, because he knows that he is not going to dominate Hutchings anyways. So there is no way that he is going to dominate him. And there is, I think, that no way that Hutchings will dominate him with the strength. So it will be up to, it will stop somewhere. And then we will see who can handle longer, So that is why Sonev made a perfect decision. And then he said that his strength is 5% up since the Bogoslav match, but he said his endurance is much better. So that is what he needed to do, and he made a perfect decision.
Yeah, and the amount of volume that Todd trains, Todd's endurance is off the charts, just simply because of the amount of how much volume he trains. Now, how old is Jordan?
30. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Less than that. Yeah.
Right. And Todd's 50. Todd's probably what, 54?
55. Yeah.
How would you say? Is Jordan below 30, like late 20s?
I think between mid to late 20s somewhere. I think my guess. Yeah.
He's a hell of a lot younger. That Todd could be his dad.
Yeah, literally. So, I mean, that's the thing, the endurance of a 56-year-old guy versus the endurance of a 28-year-old guy, or whatever these guys are. This is why we arm wrestle. This is the interesting stuff,
Well, I don't know about you, awesome. Bobby Brown, but I think you need to step into my kitchen and have a word with my missus about that, mate, because 48 years old and
still got it, son.
Yeah. Keep telling yourself.
Still got it. Maybe not in like a uphill egg and spoon.
Right.
You know, the interesting part about this event, the guys with the highest chance that are coming from US to here, one is 48 years old, one is
Exactly.
55, other one is 57, another one is 60.
So only like 20 years lower than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, what I'm just saying that imagine 48, 55,
Exactly.
57, and 60. So they are probably average of 55 or something, you know. Yeah.
Right.
But that is Bob, you know, that is kind of little bit, you know, something that, you know, US arm wrestling, you know, needs to worry about it, you know, that, you know, these guys, Ron, John, you know, and like these guys were the best when they were even early 20s, you know. So there has to be guys that, you know, much like younger than him, and you know, there should be the like hope. There should not be even, I mean, ranked below these guys.
Right. Right. Is that your phone, Neil?
Yeah, and it's really getting on my titty tits. I'm trying to turn it off now, and I'm having zero success. Guys, can you please stop George from calling, because that's really not happening. There you go. I think that's sorted.
Yeah. So and you know, that just goes to show things, you know, here in the US that, you know, we have some up and comers, but you know, the US arm wrestlers is so financially based. You know, I remember when money started to come into the sport, I said, in the beginning, money coming into our sport's going to ruin the sport. And it tore it apart, you know, and now there's a defining line between, you know, I'll say amateur and professional arm wrestling, you know, because you've got guys that don't even bother going to like a WAF championship or even a local tournament.
Well, but to be fair, you did always have that though, Bob. You did always have that hardcore of American guys that just didn't. They would show up, you know, and Russians, you know.
John, Ron, you know, Dave Patton, all these guys for many years, they didn't go to WAF, you know, they did, but not so many times, you know, and they,
Yep. And so,
but
you know,
they are not better. Who's gonna be touching in his weight in America?
Yeah, no, that's my point. No one. I mean, and because you don't have the underlying foundation of arm wrestling in the US like you do in other countries. You just don't. We're still a very, very unorganized, you know, there's only a very handful of guys that are taking the sport super seriously. I mean, and of course I say that, and every American goes, oh, well, what about this guy and this guy and this guy? I'm like, great. You just named 5 guys that are freakishly into this sport, training, taking it really serious. Until you have thousands of guys, you know, you're kidding yourself.
I think that's the point Engie was making earlier, the fact that there are so many guys that are ridiculous. Bet Killy being a bloody good example of exactly that, because Vrej always made me laugh when he went over to the US and suddenly everybody woke up to, holy shit, who's this Vrej guy?
Yeah,
he's unbelievable.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Bet Killy and others like him are the same soup warmed over, if not better. You know, we're talking.
Get the ball, Engin.
Yeah, but the only thing is that I wasn't comparing, you know, US arm wrestlers with the rest of the world. I was comparing US arm wrestlers with the guys from the same country and near 60 years old.
Yeah, no, so was I.
I would tell you that they, even in 90s, I don't think that they had like much bigger opportunities. I mean, today, John just pulls a super match and can make in US like $5,000, while he had to win the Yukon Jack for 3,500, and then he was the huge, probably one of the best tournament in the world.
Right.
I actually think, though,
yes,
this is what I like about this whole scenario. Get away from the East versus West thing and take that pressure off, because I'm going to go out on a limb here and just tell everybody I absolutely love the Yankee attitude, the American attitude. I friggin' love it. I think the fact that they're so competitive, America as a nation can always produce champions whenever they want. They've got such a massive number of people to draw from, and they're so up for it, like unbelievably up for it, particularly in combat sports. Just an absolute bunch of badass athletes over there.
Yeah.
And I hope that if the money comes in, others will come. You know what I mean?
Right.
As money comes in, I'm hoping that the American mentality where how much do I get paid? Can I make money out of this? Can I get some fame and fortune from the sport of arm wrestling? If things do start to go that way, whether it be via social media or otherwise, then there is no doubt in my mind that a new crop of world-class Americans will emerge quickly. 5-6 years, they'll be there.
Yeah, no, and that's what I've been saying. Is Americans are so financially based. If there was such a thing as a true professional arm wrestler, someone who can literally live off of arm wrestling, competitive arm wrestling, they can make $100,000 a year competitively. If that existed in the U.S., within 5 years, the U.S. would be the #1 country in the whole world.
But Bob, there is no country like that. Like I'm from Turkey. Except me. Listen, except me, nobody makes living from arm wrestling.
I understand.
Nobody.
The opportunity for sports in the US in other areas is so vast.
No, I mean, if you put those much money into arm wrestling, just trust me, same improvement will happen in every country.
I guess I'm not saying it properly because I agree with everything you're saying. I must not be communicating it properly. What I'm saying is Americans care more about money in sport than, say, people from Turkey care about money in sport.
Well, it's the cultural thing as well.
It's a cultural, that's my whole point. It's a cultural thing. Cultural, U.S. puts money above everything.
Look
it's
at
the single number
wrestling,
one thing.
Weightlifting.
Yes.
I mean, weightlifting in the US, if you're a weightlifter in the US,
it's a joke.
Who? If you're a weightlifter in Turkey, I mean, Bulgaria, Turkey,
yes.
a lot, it's very highly thought of.
Yes, exactly.
Culturally, that's what I always love about Turkey. You go around the bars, clubs, pubs, everybody friggin' loves arm wrestling.
Yeah. So you go, you look at these European countries and they actually take pride. And when I say European, you got to forgive me. I mean, everything on the other side of the ocean, and these, the general mentality is they compete in the sport of arm wrestling for the love of arm wrestling. They want to get to the world. They want to be the best in the sport of arm wrestling simply because of the love of it. More so than Americans.
Question, Herman, Jonathan Breda, Chance, are they coming here for money, you think?
No, but they do not train anywhere close to as hard as they would train if they could make money at this sport.
Dude, I'm not sure Herman trains as hard as me.
Yeah.
Herman is the most up and down mother fluffer. Herman Stevens is a bad dude. Let me tell you now. If Herman Stevens was a focused, prime, dedicated Herman Stevens, I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that stylistically, that is a better match for Schoolboy on the right arm than Mr. Burgoyne was. Left arm different, but right arm. Herman's a bad man.
I will not be surprised even if he beats me now.
No, mate, Herman's an animal, but I don't know what Herman's been doing. Last time I spoke to Herman, he was sat in a house that had blown down, and he was rebuilding the goddamn thing while raising a young son. Christ knows what. So I don't know what Herman's been doing. He may be awesome, and I might have trained his ass off. I haven't spoken to Herman in quite a while, but Herman is a bad in terms of ability.
Genetically gifted guy, very smart guy. When I talk about the smart, not on the table, outside of the table,
anywhere you want.
If you spend time with Herman,
you
will see the very, very bright guy.
Very smart. Yes.
Very smart guy. Very, 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 very good arm wrestler.
Yes.
He comes in dedicated. Herman Stevens is a weapon. Just
Yeah.
I don't know when, you know.
If that guy was touching some things that that he is not right now, that he could become something like a machine, but he chose that way, and then he is not really hard trainer probably, but
No.
Right.
but Bob, as I said, you're talking about Americans, but then Tataching is also Americans, John Brzenk is also American, Rambet is American. This guy did it. This is what I am saying, that this guy.
Yeah.
But the first two of those are definitely money motivated. John and
What's
Todd
that?
are definitely money motivated.
Money motivated.
Without doubt.
I understand,
100%.
but
Not that that's a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
no. What I am
Yeah.
just saying that they didn't start from there.
No.
They came to that level. What I am just saying that others can do the same. Nobody's holding them.
I know they
If
can.
they are
I'm
money
just telling you
motivated,
they
then
won't.
let others come to the same level as well. I'm not saying this. I'm all just saying that we can find thousands of excuses. All I am saying that we need Americans at 20s, 25s that
Right.
are passing these guys. This is how it has to happen. This is
I agree.
natural thing, that these
Right.
guys needs to be beating, John, after 6 years old, being far, coming and beating best guys still, it
Yep.
shouldn't happen, This is what I am trying to say.
How good
No, and
can Corey
he's
West
right.
and Derek Smith become? That is the question.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We shall see.
Absolutely.
And others, but
We'll see.
there's other sleeping giants potentially. Mr. Paul
Yeah.
Lynn is no bum,
No.
and it's interesting to see how far some of these guys and others can go, but all will come out in the wash. Let's not knock over a couple of super chats. I'm conscious we're on for an hour and a half. So, Gunther Sen, thank you very much for your super chat, mate. He's put Engin, I hope you become a millionaire.
If I become millionaire, then 80% will go to family, 10% arm wrestling, 10% for charity. Probably charity will be a little bit more.
There you go. Not my monkeys, not my circus. One of the original crew. Love that dude. And he's put, hey, Neil, can we get Fox 8 Ball a pay-per-view pass, please? That's one to target Mr. Engin Terzi with. I have noticed. Scooby-Doo. PM Engin, he may be able to sort that out. I really don't know, brother.
What's the question? I didn't understand.
You wanted to get Fox 8 Ball, who is a lifelong supporter of arm wrestling, absolutely obsessive fan, John. He's iron. And he wanted to get him a pay-per-view pass. Could you get him a pay-per-view pass to watch the event free of charge?
So he is a huge fan, but he wants to get a free pay-per-view?
Yeah, he's incredible arm wrestling fan, mate. He supports channels left, right, and center, does a lot of administrative duties in the channel chats.
I understand.
Dude. But yeah, PM Engin, mate, and you can probably pick that up with him after. So Gunther Sainz come back in with another super chat. Oh, you didn't.
Listen. How much did the previous guy donated for the super chat?
That was a £10 super chat.
£10. He could buy pay-per-view with that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, let's not get away from the super chat right now, Ingy, because it's just about to get fierce right now.
No, I just didn't understand. I thought that maybe he had the money problems. Then I could do
No,
something. But
I don't know. He may have money problems. I haven't got a clue, but
okay.
You just focus. Are you ready?
Okay.
Engin, would you win against Ryan Bowen?
No.
You want. I mean, I'm just thinking like if I should say my honest opinion, or I should be political, or I don't know what to say.
Oh no,
Well,
100% honest opinion.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I already asked him. I think I have on the messages that if he would pull me in this event, and then he I think said that.
Did you really?
Huh?
Did you really? You asked for a match with Ryan Bowen at this event.
Yeah, let me. I mean, I don't know if I can.
I didn't know that.
Check it later. Yes. Well, I asked him, and then he said that he doesn't know his situation to travel outside of Australia, after January or something. He said it, and then that's what happened. Then I wrote him again. I think he didn't answer. Whatever, I don't know.
Well, I'll give you my honest opinion, and this is saying, like, I'm a huge Ryan Bowen fan. I think he's done a lot for the sport of arm wrestling. And I actually think he is a very, very good arm wrestler.
He is.
He got the best technical training from Devon Larratt. He's got really good strength training from Todd Hutchins. And he's an extremely well-rounded arm wrestler. And if he gripped up with ENGIN TERZI, ENGIN would throw him to the pad so fast you couldn't blink your eye. ENGIN would crush him instantaneously. That is my, and that is with,
Yeah, I couldn't say that, but that would be the plan.
Yes, I think he would, ENGIN's hand and pronator control, just his control and his speed is going to put him immediately to the pad. So,
Yeah,
so we'll see. Now,
technical guy. He's a very technical guy. Once he balanced the match, you know.
But it's got to get balanced first. It's got to get the brakes on first, and it never will. So,
no, little bit of experience differential there. But hey, who knows in the future? Sounds like
that's why we arm wrestle. That's why we do it. I would love to see the match. I'd love to see it. I hate when
it's going to happen. There's no doubt about that. Right then, that's probably just planted a seed. And Ryan,
I hate when I see these people on the internet saying, "Oh, why should this guy arm wrestle this guy? Or why should he pull him when he should pull him?" I want to see all the matches. I don't care. You know, you want to. Yeah, I don't think Ryan Bowen has a prayer against ENGIN, but I'd still love to see the match.
Yeah,
because sometimes some things are just there to be proven otherwise.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And also the other things that, you know, like why this guy pulls this guy while there are some people rank above him, but just come on, we don't exactly know those rankings. Not rankings are not the word of God or something, you know.
No,
like just
not
because
at all.
people makes ranking, it doesn't mean that, you know, they are there by just, I mean, those people didn't really pull each other, especially I'm talking about top 10 world ranking.
Exactly.
So what I'm just saying that Devon doesn't have to pull Kurdesha or Hermes or Vitali to be qualified to pull Levan. I'm not saying that he shouldn't pull the other guys. He can pull, but what I'm just saying that just to pull Levan, he doesn't need a qualification. The offer is made. They both accepted. The community is excited. That's all matters, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got a super chat in from Mika, and he's put, "Dear legends, how many hours a week does a serious pro need to leave? No minute wasted for this sport. What does serious look like? P.S. Neil, one day my dream will come true when I pull in Arm Wars. Why not, mate? Why not?" And we're going to put that over to ENGIN.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say that I move my neck and everything is because I have serious neck and back problems. When I sit long, you know, it just really kills me. And the question, I would like to tell to the community that there are some questions. There is no fixed answer.
Yes.
It depends on your age. It depends on your volume. It depends on like how, I mean, many things.
You as a person.
Yeah, a person, healthy, you know, just like there are times that like I became world champion. I did 4 trainings in two weeks, I swear. 4 trainings in 2 weeks. And then there has been times that when I was young, because you need to write the muscle memory quick. So I was training every day, sometime morning, afternoon again, you know. Of course, it wasn't planned, not because I knew something, but I did good that I did it because I did the progress quicker, you know, because I was young and you know, hormones are high and then you just recover good. Of course, you get hurt all the time. But I realized that with time, they all help me in the future, you know, all those things. But when you come to the point, you know, the things changes. Right now, I don't have a plan to train. I go, today can I train? If I do, it will not be so great. So let me wait one more day and then do super training. You understand? Very good training. Instead of doing it with like some hurt, I would prefer to. So there is no written program for me. I feel and do it. I feel and do it. That's what it is, you know. But it may be different.
It's a learning process to work
Everyone
what works for you.
Yeah, everyone should know themselves, you know, very good. They're asking a person what to do, and they are trying to apply what is good for the other guy to themselves directly without thinking about it. They say, how many days to rest? It totally depends. Your age, your health, your recovery time, you know, it may be different. You just need to. Cobra has a good word. He says, listen to your body. It means that you really need to get to know, because you are not trying to make someone else's body stronger. You are trying to make yourself stronger. So you need to listen and give it what it needs, you know. Just listen, you know, this body is not going to get better because what you think. It is going to get better because if you listen good and then make the right decisions, you know. That's what I believe.
Now, Engin, we've been on over an hour and a half now, so we're going to have to wrap this up very, very shortly. But I wanted to just pick on this point really quick. Number one, we can't leave without the discussion around John and Hadji Zulayev.
And Gennady Kvikvinia.
And Gennady and Michael.
And Gennady and Mike. You knew where I was going. So those two, which order do you want to go?
Whatever you say.
Okay, let's
you know
start,
what? Just one
start
second.
with MT and Gennady.
With two of you, I could sit here and talk 5 hours, you know.
I know.
Yeah. And then there's 5 hours because you both would be, Engin, I have something to do and go, you know. not because I'm going to give up, but you guys will get tired of it.
Listen, mate, you rack up some peanuts, a couple of beers and a hotel lobby, and we will put that to the test. Son. We'll put that to the test. We'll see who gives up first. We'll have a talk.
Well, I'll tell you. Let me just throw this out there because I want this to get out there. I'm looking at the last 5 matches because I know we're going to discuss the last 2 in depth. But on the last 5, I'm going with Todd Hutchins. I've actually switched my vote now from Oleg to Bakili. I'm going with Hermes. And now we can discuss whichever one you want, the Michael Todd match or the John Brzenk match.
Start with MTT and Gennady, because this is a match that back in the day, way back, I wanted to get in Arm Wars so many times. And it didn't come about for whatever reason. Here we go. We had him coming over to the WL. Gennady was going to come over there pre-COVID. Going to get involved with WL. He was going to be on a card. Funny how things work out. Pure age arm wrestling. Let's fucking go.
So here's me on Michael Todd. You know, Michael Todd always says, and I agree, if the match stops, it's over. It may take a long time. It may happen very fast after the stop. But if the match stops, it's over.
But how can you agree with that when you see Denis Shiplenkov beat him after the match stop, Trubin beat him after the match stop, Pushkar beat him after the match stop in the last time they pulled? I mean, it happened.
Because you didn't hear what I said. What I said was what Michael always says is if the match stops, it's over. It's not my words. These are Michael's words.
No, but in the word, I think you just said, which I agree, I think you said.
Okay, so I believe this match is going to stop, and I think Michael's going to win this match. I think Michael's going to win. What is this? Best of 5?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
3 finishes.
So they're not going to pull all 5 rounds. If you get to 3, it's done.
It's over.
Okay.
And in my opinion, Michael's going to win 3-0. He's going to stop. He's going to crack him. He's going to bring him back. He's going to beat him. He's going to do it 3 times in a row.
I'm wondering whether Michael feels any more pressure going into this match because he's huge right now.
Yeah.
He looks physically impressive right now. And he needs, and I think in his own mind, Michael, to, and this, when I say needs, I don't think necessarily to the outward world. I don't think he's that bothered about for anyone else. But I think for him, he needs to validate that. And he needs to get 100%. A big win and make a statement in his own mind
100%
at a certain level. And obviously,
totally, yes,
Gennady Kvikvinia is a very, very good arm wrestler, very powerful puller, exciting puller as well.
Yes.
really exciting arm wrestler. I mean, one of the most, back in the day, at one point, arguably the most exciting, when he'd hit the hook and start shouting some stuff into the crowd. Christ knows what he was saying, but he used to mean it. That's for damn sure. He'd start screaming and shouting. As soon as it stopped, he thought he had it, and he'd be off telling everybody in the room what he was going to do. And it was exciting. He'd do knee sliders across the stage. He was awesome. Now, I think Michael may feel like he's got to come out here and not see a grinder, that he's got to come out here and run him over.
That's what Michael should. Yeah. Unlike what I said earlier about what drives Americans is money, that is not the case for Michael Todd.
Oh, no.
What drives Michael Todd is he wants to be the best in the world. That is his singular motivating factor. That's his passion. That is his passion. That is 100% true. And when he lost to Devon Larratt, sometimes a lose is exactly what someone needs. It lit a fire in him like nobody's business. He's coming out to destroy Gennady.
Well, it's interesting where you say, well, if the match stops, well, it's kind of the mood Mike might be in coming into this. He might be looking to do something that Mike's always had this criticism that he's, a lot of people will stop Mike and put the brakes on him. And the likelihood is that in most people's minds, that's what's going to happen. But I'm wondering whether Mike's thinking that I'm going to run this guy over and can he stop me? I'm just going to smash his ass.
I guarantee you that's what Michael's thinking. Michael is going into the match thinking, I am going to take this guy right to the pad. Ready, go, boom. That's guaranteed. That's what Michael is thinking right now.
And if he does that, how impressive is that, guys? I mean, what do you think? Engin and Bob, what do you think if he runs him over?
That's super impressive. That's unbelievable. I mean, you take a guy who's traditionally a defensive arm wrestler and he changes to an offensive arm wrestler and then wins against a guy like Gennady. That's monstrous. That's mind blowing.
Yeah, it will be something that we never saw Michael doing at the level.
Right. And so I don't necessarily believe that's what's going to happen, but that is what Michael is going to shoot for. I do believe you are going to see Michael hit very violently in an offensive position right off the go first match. I do believe you're going to see it. I don't know what's going to happen when he does it. I still think it's going to stop in the center of the table with Gennady's hand flopped back and they slip apart. But that's why we do this, to find out.
Very, very interesting match for so many reasons, but none more so for me than that. Just what kind of shape is Mike currently in and what can he do to somebody of that caliber? And if Mike runs him over, I think suddenly Michael's back in the conversations that he wants to be in. Now,
absolutely.
Moving on to the last match before we jump off of you guys, we knew it was going to come down to this. Legend versus legend. Hazimurat Zolaev, John Brzenk. A guy who's come from an absolute arm wrestling legacy in Hadji. His dad, his uncle, his brother, for Christ's sake. His other brother, now his baby brother.
Yeah.
Holy.
He's going to be the best one.
I mean, oh, mate, Alan looks unbelievable, doesn't he? That performance from Alan that we just saw, good Lord God. Venomous. But how do you see this, mate? Engin, where's the pendulum of, because we're looking at we're looking at a 60-year-old John Brzenk. It's not a prime guy anymore.
I can tell you the possibilities. First of all, I'm trying to make the stage supported with the still, so that the stage will not collapse from the greatness of these two athletes.
Yes.
And so we are talking about the greatest of all times, and then, in my opinion, the second greatest of all times. Like when I say second, people say, how can you compare Zolaev with Haji? I don't compare. If you ask me, Zolaev, John Brzenk is here, 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, I would leave blank, and then I would say Haji Murad, and then whatever. So just because he is second, there's because no other name I see between, but it doesn't mean that he's close. So if I come to do a few things, people says that Zola beat Hutchings. Hutchings couldn't even sleep to go to strap. So John may not be stronger than Hutchings, but I'm sure his pronator and the way that he is using his pronator and his experience to go to strap is much better than Hutchings.
Yes.
Maybe, as you said, maybe the same thing will happen. But, you know, you're talking about John that, you know, like he even sleep with Alexei Voivoda. You are going to say that John is not the same John. Hajimrad is not Alexei Voivoda either, you know. So what I'm just saying that there is a possibility, big possibility that match is going to go to the strap. So we were thinking that, you know, Haji may try to go to hook and beat John inside. And I had Zola as guest on my program, and he said he's going to top roll and beat him. So as we know, you said that John is not the John that we know, but the Hajimrad is not, I mean, he's 37 years old.
Calling me, guys.
Who?
Steve Kaplan.
Well, let's
Okay.
not talk to him right now.
And long live the WAL.
Yeah. So in I agree. I think
Now, can I finish, Bob?
oh
Yeah.
yes.
I
Sorry,
stopped
yes.
because the Steve Kaplan thing happened. Yeah.
Oh,
So what I'm just saying that I believe Zola said that he's not gonna accept to go to strap directly. He said that if John wants to pull in strap, he needs to earn it. So he is for sure planning to beat John without the strap. That's his plan. So do I think John can beat Haji without the strap? I don't think so. So what I think that they will go to strap, most likely. And Haji is still in strap. He said that he's going to top roll John, and he beat him. This is what he said. So Haji to take John's hand is possible, but what we must not miss, taking John's wrist may not be the solution if you don't also control his pronator with your wrist. If you just take like this, and John's wrist is going like this, but if he still has the pronator with a flat wrist versus flat wrist, if this match goes that way, John is gonna beat him.
yes.
Haji with the outside move, not only taking the wrist, he also needs to control here as well. Just because pronating out, he's not beating John. You know, John has like experience, full of experience pulling this way.
Yes.
Versus Taras versus Dennis. Again, you can't say that
Just
John
so
is not
much
the
better,
same.
just so much better hand than 90% of people. I mean, don't get me wrong, John has looked a little infirm, a little soft in that area compared with the John of old. But at 70%
memory
of
there.
yeah, 70% of John in that area is amazing. Unless you're a giant and you dominate the guy on size and levers, which obviously Zolaev doesn't, then you are in trouble with John's hand and wrist because he will cause you so many problems.
Even in previous matches, you saw even versus Devon, John didn't have the wrist, but with pronator, he pressed him till here. And if Devon didn't go to open arm top roll, John was pressing him.
Look at John's performance in ropier shape than he is now, I would imagine, against Dimitri Kachan, who's a good, solid top roller. And John was able to shut his game down. And Kachan's no bum. You might say, okay, well, Kachan this, Kachan that, but he's decent. He's a solid top roller.
He took John's wrist.
And John was not
just little bit pronator here. Still he was like
not trouble.
So just taking John's wrist without controlling his pronator
doesn't do any good.
Not give you a guarantee win. So you can tell Bob. Sorry.
No, I agree with everything you said. In my opinion, there's no way Zoloff can top roll John and pin him without the strap. They will come apart. John's ability to top roll is still light years ahead of Todd Hutchins' ability to top roll. And his ability to get to the strap is light years ahead of Todd Hutchins' ability to get to the strap. So if Zoloff tries to top roll him, it's going to a strap. Now the question is, like ENGIN just said, everything ENGIN just said is right. If you top roll John, if you crack his wrist and he still has his pronator, that match is coming back. I remember when John arm wrestled Rustam, and I was like, Rustam, you need to top roll Rustam. He said, I can't top roll Rustam. But what he could do is he could stop Rustam in the hook and then roll out his wrist. And so that would be the question for me, because I do believe that Zoloff can force that match into a hook. I do believe that. Now, if he forced,
he's hurt here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That is yeah. At the WAF, he took second place. Normally, Clem and Dimitro a few times before that event took Zolev's wrist, and Zolev every time he beat him with a dead wrist, but he had the pronator. Yeah, this time he lost the wrist, and then he suddenly let it go, and then he was injured here. So this is what I'm saying, that when you have inner elbow problem, I don't know how effective you can be. Like, you need to be rock solid to beat John. You can beat John in hook, but you need to be 100% healthy.
Right. So then if Zoloff is fully committed to having to top roll, if that's basically, then that one, I was going to say, I predict John to win this match anyway, knowing that his elbow is bugging him and he's going to be forced to go outside. Now I even more so believe John is going to win. I don't know if John's going to win 3-0, because even once, if every match ends up like that in the strap, John has his pronator and his firing side. If every match ends up like that, people are still going to run out of gas at some point. So in that style of match, I think John wins the first two, and then we see what's left in the tank.
Exactly. This is exactly what John thinks. When I talk it with him privately, he's talking about. He says that he is like, this is what I feel with him. Like, he is like 2 matches, yeah. But let's see how much I can continue. But whenever we say this, but we are talking about John Brzenk's endurance not being that good, but we are judging him with Devon Larratt. I mean, that is the last person to compare. But when you look
Devon's a giant and has the best endurance on earth.
Whenever you look at his matches with Chen Shou, Dimitri Kashan, and Paul Lin, he was not the one who gassed out.
No, but he wasn't even troubled, mate. The thing is, it's the lever, it's the position. The positional play in the Devon match is Devon's designed to cause problems for John. He's designed to do. Designed to cause problems for most people.
For anybody, his arm's so tall, his fingers are long.
Very difficult. Arm wrestle against
people don't understand Devon's
it's a different dynamic entirely. And my concern for John is it depends on how hard Zolaev can hit, how venomously he can hit. Because for me, there are some signs that John is susceptible there. And if Hadji was able to get a solid dominant position, he has enough top-end horsepower to finish, in my opinion, depending where he got to, versus the other guys that he's pulled. Sorry, mate.
With or without strap?
It depends whether he jumped on it without a strap and sort of got that, like an RVJ win over Todd, where he just collects enough and then jumps on it. Whether he can do that and it's explosive enough in WAF rules, if you're giving slips in losing positions, there is an element of danger. I think the strap brings things back in favor of John, because I think the strap would give a lot more engagement with the lat for John early, and that will put the brakes on him better. My concern for John is that he's not as quick as he used to be. That's my only big concern. He looks a little bit susceptible in that area. So I do think this is a very balanced match in many ways. I think it's a very balanced match. It's an exciting match. I think it's there for both men to win. I want John to win because
Me too.
I like John, and I'm a John Brzenk fan.
Except my own, match, I would also want John to win every other match in the world, And John, to go to strap, in my opinion, he must not do like a reverse curve. That way, he will get hit this way. He needs to pronate to do pressure with the sideways just to balance that pressure to this way with his
right.
So he needs to
I think the strap minimizes a lot of risk for him because of the fact that he's got such good integrity on the rise and with his lats. I think he pulls that really well. So if he can get without the strap,
he must not go reverse way. He may get in this way. You understand? So
yes, that's exactly what I'm referring to, mate.
Mix his pronator with the side pressure, and he's gonna sleep.
That initial stages of it, particularly with the WAF rules, concern me for him because laterally he's the guy that gets hit. He doesn't do the hitting, apart from with Devon, who was allowing him to tee off.
Right.
Hadji's not going to allow him to tee off. He's going to go at him like a loony, you know. So that's a weapon for the younger man. But I think it's a balanced match, and I think it's an exciting match. Look, guys, we've been on here for just under 2 hours, so we're going to wrap it up at that point. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's taken the time to tune in tonight. I know we've had at some points over 300 people. If you can do us a favor, guys, if you are still in the chat, if you're still watching the show, hit that like button for us, please. Give us a like there. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Also, get over to the Arm Wars channel, the new Arm Wars channel. Please get over there and show your support. Massive venture for us. We've got a lot of investment into that. The Facebook page, the YouTube channel, Arm Wars. Get over and sub. Please support the East versus West event this weekend. The pay-per-view is going to be in the description. If you can't find it at the weekend and you're catching up on that, check the description. I'm going to put the link in there. Engin's put an enormous amount of work into this. Engin's a legend in the sport of arm wrestling in every sense. This is a guy who is literally to the fiber of his DNA. He is arm wrestling 101. Loves this game. And he's gone balls out on this one and put on an incredible card for the purist puller.
It's incredible.
For the new fan alike. This will be watched and talked about for years, the stuff that come off this. So please show your support. It's a wonderful opportunity of the sport. Also, you can follow Engin and Bob's YouTube channel. Going to put their links in the description as well. Get over there, subscribe to these guys. Massive amount going on. They can talk about arm wrestling all day. We could do. My wife will cut off my floppy dog, so I've got to get off here at some point. But joking aside, please get over, show your support to the Enigma of Rage, Engin Terzi. Thank you on behalf of myself and of all arm wrestling, Engin.
Yes, thank you. Incredible card you put together here.
I thank you guys. I thank you guys because if you are, I mean, if you buy pay-per-view or not, if you buy, you will be supporting more. But I mean, giving you to appreciate and thank you, it just motivates me so much that I made you guys a little bit happy. That is just my motivation mostly. Thank you very much, Neil, for inviting me and then supporting the event. And let's see, hard work starting. Next 3 days, everything. I need to work hard.
It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, it's an amazing event.
Yeah. And Engin, let's jump back on here maybe next week again and talk about the aftermath, shall we?
Yes.
That'll be good.
Hey, Neil, when are you going to be my guest? You always
tell me when. If I can get over there, I'm coming. I would have loved to be at this one. I've already got a semi on. I'm sat in England.
I will remind you. If not, every program that I make, I will remind again and remind again and remind. I will cut this part and then I will be put it as an intro for every program.
Let's do it next week.
Whatever.
Next week.
Yeah, as long as we do, it's okay. Just invite me about your events. Let's discuss everything, and then just let's make arm wrestling greater than what it is now.
And there's one right back at you.
When you're coming in the Arm Wars house, son.
Yeah. If you invite me, maybe I would pull there.
Would you guys in the chat like to see Engin Terzi in Arm Wars Iron House at some point? Would you like to see this guy pull someone in there and get to know more about Engin Terzi's character when he's not on a podcast?
Oh, yeah. What is Engin? What do you currently weigh?
175 kilos.
I am. That's my age. About 92 kilo.
92 kilos of
okay, I have the match I want to see in Arm Wars with Engin Terzi against No, not me. He'll kill
I was
me.
going to say,
I
come
want
on,
to see him. I want to see him pull Craig Toulier.
Craig too.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like a blast from the past. Last time that
Yeah.
happened was in like 65 kilo class.
That is 2000 final. What final?
Yeah.
We had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at 65 kilos. What
Yeah.
the
Yes.
fuck happened? Looks like
I
the guy
can-
that ate that guy. Now,
And then that's Craig. Craig is let's see, he's 90 kilos, is 198. He's probably about 88 kilos right now. 89 kilos.
Craig Toulier is not even the strongest man in his own house. Did you see the pictures of Denise Toulier
I know.
that came out on her birth? Holy.
Okay, so what we need is
Those were
Ingen against Denise Toulier, and then
Denise
the winner,
Toulier
the winner
might
of that
whip
goes
Engin's
against
ass.
Craig.
Did you
The
see
winner of
Denise
that goes
Toulier's
against
arms?
Craig.
No, I put Craig first. It goes to the dead still. See,
And the-
Craig is 88 kilo, but ripped. Look at me.
That's my kind of ripped there, son.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There it
So I'm
is.
like maybe 175 pound guy, you know. If I was
Right.
as ripped as Craig, but still I would. Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
Engin,
That'd be
you can
fun.
transition. You can transition into professional darts. Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely dart. You know what? I think we've had a sneaky last-minute super chat there. We got Stephen France with a super chat. Would absolutely love to see Engin in Arm Wars. It has
Yes.
to happen. Obviously, we'll hope he doesn't die from his current bout of COVID, and the fact that he's 175 years old.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Just turned
2022.
last month.
Let's get it done, Engin. Let's get it done. Get the boat in.
You know, it's
Ladies and
terrible
gents.
that
Sorry,
I think
go
I'm the
on.
oldest one here. Well, it's terrible that Ingen's 175, and I'm pretty sure I'm 10 years older than he is.
Yeah, but Engin's old. However old you get, you can never be as old
Yeah.
as Pascal or
That's
Engin.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Oldest
That's
two
good.
guys in the world.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, well, it's been
Ladies
great
and
being
gents.
on this show. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Engin.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you,
your
guys.
time,
Thank you.
lads.
Thank you.
And to everybody who's out there in the chat, again, thanks for watching the show. We will be back with the fix on Sunday night at 9:30 UK time, which is, I believe, 5:30 Pacific, 1:30 Eastern, and 10:30 Central European time. And we will be talking about the outcome of East versus West. Until we see you then, biggity bong, mother fluffers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We'll see you guys later.